This is The Roman Show.
What was your reaction to when Rousey lost at home? Where were you? What was your opinion that night?
I was surprised because they asked me beforehand who I thought was going to win, and I really thought, even if that fight goes, several rounds, as soon as Ronda gets a hold of her and gets her to the ground, I thought her grappling would be just, far too hard for Holly to defend. So I was surprised, but I knew that Holly was definitely the superior striker. I mean, there's not really a girl in the division who has her skill set. So the fact that she was able to keep it on the feet, it definitely, was the whole game plan to, take Ronda in the area that she's weakest. And so it was a flawless execution.
And with Holly's victory, how does this change how fast you can get to a title shot? And what do you think this means for your career?
For my career, it's really good because it's a lot harder to get a rematch. Even if it was a controversial fight against Ronda and I, it's still hard to do that. So I still have to do my part. I think that if I have some dominating wins, I can make the case for a fight, a title fight against her rather than a rematch against Ronda. So it's good for me, and actually it's good for an entire division. Everybody who's faced Ronda now gets a fresh shot at a new champion.
How important do you think the defeat of Ronda was just to eliminate that mystique of her, that she is beatable? Did you feel that was important?
Not for me necessarily. It might have been in other girls that were in my weight class because I have an extensive sports background. So, with wrestling in the Olympics, and world championships, you've seen people who are dominating fall. So that's something that it's not a mystique. We know that somebody has a good run, somebody, has a technique that really people haven't figured out or a style they haven't figured out. But, I've seen it happen so many times that I knew it's just a matter of time. And, it's really a matter of time for anybody, nobody can evolve as fast as the people coming up that are trying to adapt to them. They have to be able to beat every style. The people training are training for the champion. So it makes it more difficult to stay there.
How do you think you match up against Holly if it came down to that?
It's the same kind of situation. I think that with her striking skills, it would be very, very difficult. But I'm a little bit different. I believe I'm a better striker than Ronda, and I have really good power. I think that, and I've been working on it relentlessly to become the kind of person that can hit somebody and knock them out. So that's something that I want to evolve into, not just do damage, but put them to sleep. And so I'm better skilled to handle the striking game. I've dedicated a lot of time to it. And then I don't have as many throws, but I attack body locks and I attack the legs, which is higher percentage takedowns for MMA. So I think that it gives me a distinct advantage. But like I said, I'm not going to sit there and try to stand for 5 rounds with somebody who is a professional boxer and kickboxer. She's great in that area for a reason, but, I would do what she did to Ronda. I would take her out of her element, and then I think I would dominate.
Do you have a fight booked?
I don't have a fight booked. I would love to have a fight booked. I keep begging them. I'm like, please, I just want to beat people up. but no, I know that they have a lot of girls who are already matched up, and it just hasn't been announced. I know that they have girls that have injuries that they don't want to broadcast and stuff like that. So I really believe that they are trying to match everybody up and get us fights. But, even with the recent cuts, from what I hear, they didn't even want to cut those guys. They're good fighters, but they're just forced into that position because of contracts, and so they just have so many fighters. It's difficult to put everybody on the show, so I just have to wait my turn like every other fighter.
Who are the interesting matchups out there that you would like to fight?
I really don't even care. I always say top 10. For me, it doesn't matter because anybody out there, if you're in the UFC, you're a pretty good fighter. You're of the top 20 in the world. So all that would be was style matchups. But truthfully, whenever they tell me, okay, we think that, they offered us this person. They say, do you want to fight this person? Every single time they come to me, I say, yeah, let's do it. And then, sometimes that person's good. And I'm like, oh man, I'm biting off more than I can chew probably. But I'm going to work and I'm going to chew it. I'm going to get in there and, get to work to beat them.
Which fight are you looking forward to the most tonight? On tonight's card?
Oh God, this is an amazing card, so that's really, really tough. I'm a huge Cerrone fan, so the main event is really when I saw that, I was like, I need to get my tickets to that fight, so that's definitely a huge draw. But really even like the Miles Jury, Charles Olivier, like that's a good fight. I want to see Randa Marcos. You know, like I hear that she's a very tough fighter. Like she's nonstop action. You know, like she's a good conditioned athlete. I mean, even like C.B. Dalloway and Marquardt. You know, that's gonna be a great fight. I mean, I don't know. But obviously the main event is really what I want to see. Like I think that's gonna be a great style matchup. But they matched this card so well that I'm excited to get back out there and watch them.
This is The Roman Show.